What is lobbying? Is this legal bribery? Check this out. Your senator just voted against your health care. The bill that could have saved you $3,000 a year? Dead. But here's the kicker. The pharmaceutical company that wanted it killed just donated $50,000 to their campaign last week. Coincidence? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your voice doesn't matter. But their checkbook does. I'm about to expose the $4 billion machine that writes the laws controlling your life, your healthcare costs, your taxes, your student loans, all of it. You'll learn who's buying your politicians, how much your senator costs,
The exact playbook they use.
and the one loophole that changes everything. This isn't theory. This is the system rigging the game against you right now. Picture this. Right now, while you're watching this, a Congress member is at a $500 steakhouse. Across the table, a pharmaceutical lobbyist. They're laughing, sipping $200 wine, discussing the drug pricing bill that affects your prescription costs. Oh, and that company? They donated $50,000 to this politician's campaign last month. 1 week later, that Congress member votes exactly how Big Pharma wanted. Bribe? Or just Tuesday in Washington? Either way, your insulin just got more expensive. But this single dinner? That's just the tip of the iceberg. Wait until you see the real numbers. Every year, special interests spend over $4 billion lobbying the federal government. That's $7.5 million per Congress member. Think about that. Your senator makes $174,000 a year, but lobbyists are spending $7.5 million trying to influence them. What do you think wins, your email or their millions? There are 23 registered lobbyists for every single member of Congress. When was the last time you had dinner with your senator? Exactly. And here's the part they don't want you to know. The real number of lobbyists is actually, ready for this? Official count? 12,000 registered lobbyists in DC. But the real number? Over 100,000 people are actually doing lobbying work. How is that possible? Here's the loophole that's costing you money. You only register as a lobbyist if you spend more than 20% of your time lobbying for one client.
So what do?
They spend 19% of their time lobbying, or they spread it across multiple clients. This loophole means thousands of shadow lobbyists are influencing your laws while staying completely invisible. But who exactly is paying all these people? The list will make your blood boil. So who hires these lobbyists? Big Pharma. The reason your insulin costs used to be $300 instead of $30. Big Tech. Why Facebook's still able to gather your data for ads. Wall Street. Why the banks that crashed the economy in 2008 got bailouts, but you didn't. Big Oil. Why gas prices spike, but their profits are record-breaking. Foreign governments. Yes, foreign countries lobby our Congress. Even your state government hires lobbyists to lobby the federal government. Your tax dollars lobbying with your tax dollars. See any names representing you on that list? Every single one of these groups is fighting to write laws that affect your wallet, your health, your future. But what exactly do these lobbyists do every day? The tactics they use are straight out of a manipulation handbook. Let me pull back the curtain on the 8 tactics they use to control your government. Step 1. Lobbyists get FaceTime with these politicians. While you send emails that get auto-replied, they're sitting in the office. How? 50% of senators and 42% of House members become lobbyists after leaving office. Former colleagues, old staffers, the doors aren't just open, they're revolving. You can't get your senator on the phone, but they have these politicians on speed dial. Step 2, they educate Congress. Congress members can't be experts on everything. Their staff is overworked and underpaid. So lobbyists fill the gap with research and data. Objective? Hardly. When your senator votes on climate policy, they're reading reports written by oil companies. Think they're getting the full truth? Step 3, and here's where it gets insane. Lobbyists don't just influence laws, they write them, word for word. A 2019 investigation found pharmaceutical lobbyists drafted 42 identical state bills to prevent drug price controls. Copy, paste, law. One study found lobbyists wrote over 80% of the text in certain bills. The laws governing your life, written by corporate lawyers protecting corporate profits. That law that just raised your prescription costs? A pharma lobbyist wrote it at their desk, handed it to a politician, and it became law. But writing the laws is just the beginning. Wait until you hear how they testify as experts. Step 4. They testify at congressional hearings. Turn on C-SPAN sometime. You'll see oil executives explaining why environmental regulations are too burdensome. Pharmaceutical CEOs claiming drug prices must stay high. Expert opinion or sales pitch. Congress cites these testimonies as unbiased expertise, while those same companies fund their campaigns. When your senator quotes an industry expert justifying higher prices, remember, that expert is on someone's payroll. Step 5. They throw money parties. A lobbyist hosts a $2,500 per plate dinner, collects checks from 20 executives, hands a Congress member $50,000 in one night. This happens days before a key vote affecting that industry. Technically not a bribe because there's no explicit agreement. But come on. Studies show these coincidental donation spikes happen days or weeks before favorable votes, every single time. Hey, quick thing, if your blood is boiling right now, good. That means you're paying attention. This is part of our series exposing how politics really works. Hit that subscribe button because next week we're dropping the campaign finance breakdown, and it makes this look tame. And smash that like button so more people see this and make more people aware. All right, back to the manipulation tactics. Step 6. They manufacture public support. AstroTurf campaigns, paid phone banks, scripted social media posts. They make it look like regular citizens support their position. That grassroots campaign flooding your senator's office could be funded by corporations making it look like you and your neighbors care about their bottom line. Step 7. Opposition research. They dig up dirt on politicians who oppose them. That scandal that tanked a politician fighting for healthcare reform? Think about who benefited. Step 8. Shape public opinion. Op-eds, news appearances, funded think tanks. They don't just lobby Congress, they lobby you. That expert on cable news arguing against regulation? Check who funds their institute. Follow the money. So we know the tactics, but let's talk actual money. The numbers are going to make you sick. In 2023, lobbying spending hit $4.2 billion. And that's just what's reported. Top spenders for 2023, according to OpenSecrets.org, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, $70 million. National Association of Realtors, $52 million. American Hospital Association, $30 million. Blue Cross Blue Shield, $28 million. Big Pharma, $27 million. American Medical Association, $21 million. That's why your healthcare costs keep rising. That's why the banks that caused the 2008 crash face no real consequences. That's why there's still no privacy protection for your data. Every dollar they spend makes your life more expensive and less protected. Every now and again, there's a glimmer of hope. And this time, something actually came through for the little guy. The Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, of 2022 is the most significant federal law passed in recent years aimed at lowering prescription drug prices, with major provisions taking effect in 2025 and 2026.
For the very first time, Medicare negotiated lower prices for 10 high-cost drugs, which took effect on January 1st, 2026. These negotiated prices represent a reduction of at least 38% off 2023 list prices, a meaningful win for patients. But Big Pharma has deep pockets and a long history of bouncing back. This may be a short-term victory in a much longer battle.
What do lobbyists make?
Average salary, $125,000, but top lobbyists, especially former Senate Majority Leaders, $2 million per year, per client. Some have multiple clients.
What would you do with $2 million a year? Would you vote against the people cutting those checks? Be honest with yourself. The people who regulated industries leave office and immediately start earning millions from those industries. Think they regulated them harshly? But does this money actually change votes? Or is it just education? The research will shock you. Some say it's just education, others call it representation. But what does the research say? Well, a Princeton University study showed researchers analyzed 1,800 policy issues. The result: economic elites and business interests have substantial impact. Average citizens, people like you and me, have little to no influence. Let that sink in. Zero. Your opinion doesn't matter to your government. Tax loopholes study. For every $1 spent lobbying, companies receive $220 in tax benefits. That's a 22,000% return on investment. Best investment in America? Lobbying. Those corporate tax loopholes that shift your tax burden higher, they paid for those loopholes and made 220 times their money back. Guess who makes up the difference? You. Want to see this in action? These real-world examples will make your blood boil. Real examples of your democracy for sale. Your healthcare. During the Affordable Care Act debate, healthcare industry spent over $1 billion lobbying. Result? The final bill included numerous provisions benefiting insurance and pharmaceutical companies. That's why you still can't afford insurance. They wrote the Affordable Care Act. How about drug prices? Pharma spends more on lobbying than any other industry. Result? By law, Medicare can't negotiate drug prices. Let that sink in. The biggest healthcare buyer in America, your government, is prohibited from getting you a discount.
Who wrote that law? Pharma lobbyists.
Your prescription that costs $300 in America, $30 in Canada, same exact drug. This law is why. The 2008 financial crisis. Before 2008, banks spent millions lobbying for deregulation. They got it. After the crisis destroyed people's savings and home values, they lobbied against strict reforms. They succeeded. Banks got bailouts with your tax money. You got foreclosed on. See the pattern? For years, tech companies barely lobbied. Then the government started talking about regulation, protecting your privacy, your data. Now Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple are among the top lobbying spenders. Serious regulation? Your data is still being indirectly sold. Your privacy still doesn't exist because they spent millions to keep it that way. Okay, but not all lobbying is bad, right? Environmental groups, unions, civil rights organizations. But here's the problem. You're right, not all lobbying is corporate. Labor unions lobby for your worker protections. Environmental groups lobby for your breathable air. Civil rights organizations lobby for your equality. But here's the gut punch. Corporate interests outspend public interest groups 34 to 1. It's not a fair fight. It's not even close. For every $1 spent protecting your interests, corporations spend $34 protecting their profits. Guess who wins? And the system ensuring corporations keep winning? The revolving door. This is where it gets truly disturbing. Here's how the scam works. Step 1. Work as congressional staffer or member. Step 2. Learn the system. Make connections. Step 3. Leave government. Step 4. Lobbying firm hires you for those connections. Step 5. You lobby your former colleagues. Step 6. You make 5 and 10 times your government salary. Half of all senators become lobbyists. 42% of House members become lobbyists. 5,400 former congressional staffers are now lobbyists. Average salary increase when they switch, 1,452%. John Boehner, former Speaker of the House, now lobbies for tobacco and cannabis. Tom Daschle, former Senate Majority Leader, now lobbies for healthcare companies. Eric Cantor, former House Majority Leader, now lobbies for Wall Street. Think they regulated those industries harshly when they were in office? Why would they? They knew where they were heading. There are supposed to be cooling off periods, mandatory waiting periods that prevent politicians from immediately taking jobs connected to the federal government after leaving office. For senators, it's 2 years, House members, 1 year. For senior staff, 1 year. But the loopholes. Loophole 1. Do lobbying work without registering. Loophole 2. Lobby other branches immediately. Loophole 3. Advise lobbyists without technically lobbying. The door doesn't just revolve, it spins. These are the people who wrote the laws you live under. Then, they immediately left to profit from those same industries. The entire system is rigged. So can we fix this? Or is the system too far gone? The proposed solutions seem obvious, but there's one massive problem. Here's what could fix this. 1. Lifetime ban on former Congress members becoming lobbyists. 2. Publicly fund campaigns so politicians don't need lobbyist money. 3. Close the 20% loophole. 4. Real-time disclosure of all lobbying contacts. 5. Ban gifts, meals, and travel from lobbyists. 6. Give Congress more staff so they don't rely on lobbyist research. These would work, so why haven't they happened? Here's the catch-22 that makes your blood run cold. The same Congress that benefits from this system. The same Congress that's friends with lobbyists. The same Congress that plans to become lobbyists. It's like asking wolves to vote on protecting sheep. We need Congress to fix lobbying, but lobbying prevents Congress from fixing lobbying. This is why nothing changes. This is why your healthcare costs keep rising. Your taxes keep climbing. Your wages stay flat. The system protects itself. So, is it legal bribery? Let's lay out the facts one more time. Is lobbying legal bribery? Here are the facts. You decide. $4+ billion spent annually. 23 lobbyists per Congress member. 34 to 1 corporate advantage. Lobbyists write 80% of some bills. Studies prove it influences policy. 50% of Congress becomes lobbyists. $220 return for every $1 spent. Lobbying is protected by the First Amendment. In theory, it's citizens petitioning their government. In practice, the system is working exactly as designed, just not for you. It's wealthy interests buying access, influence, and outcomes. Still think your vote matters more than their dollars? Here's something they really don't want you to know. Remember that 22,000% return on investment for lobbying? There's actually a secret level above traditional lobbying. It's called dark money, groups that don't have to disclose donors. They can spend unlimited amounts influencing elections and policy, and you'll never know who's behind them. A foreign government? A billionaire? A corporation? They're lobbying in the shadows. Next week, I'm exposing the entire dark money system, PACs, super PACs, and the secret groups spending billions to control elections. It makes this video look like child's play. Do you think lobbying is legal bribery? Or is it protected free speech? Drop a comment. Have you ever tried to contact your representative? Did they listen? What industry do you think is doing the most damage with lobbying? Your perspective matters. Next week's episode on campaign finance and dark money is going to be fascinating. Subscribe so you don't miss it. We're pulling back the curtain, exposing the game that's being played. The rabbit hole goes deep. Let's keep digging. Thanks for staying with me to the end. See you on the next one.